The fans wanted to know and wanted me to ask you if there's ever a boring moment on a shoot like that, which obviously made me smile.
You know, some days we would be ready in costume at 8 a.m. having sat in the chair at 4:30, and at 7 p.m. at night Pete would knock on the door or send a runner to knock on the door and say, oh, he's ready to shoot you now, and you'd walk onto set and do a head turn and get sent home. That could probably be described as a boring day, but you know, I found so many things to keep myself occupied. There was always something new to read or a piece of music to listen to, just to keep myself in my head. And you know, there was always new script coming in, so you could plan what was going to come next. So very few boring days.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have always the opportunity to get interested in anyone else's storyline. And because all of you guys, you know, hung out together all the time, did that happen a lot? You know? Yeah,
on some of those boring days, Dwalin and I played ping pong in the hangar. So we kept ourselves very busy, and you know, Stephen Hunter and Jimmy Nesbitt were constant sources of fun and amusement. So it was great to have that camaraderie.
When you step on a set like this one, you know, even before visual effects are ever installed, do you feel really part of it? Because obviously you've gone through, you know, the makeup, everything surrounding you is Middle Earth.
Yeah, and it's something that is very unique to the way Peter treats the people that work with him. That, you know, he doesn't just wheel you on at the last minute to look at to start work. You know, you're involved from the very beginning. So he shows you the sketches of the sets, he shows you the models, he brings you to set to look at how it's being built. So you're involved from the very beginning. So apart from it being a courteous thing, it's very useful to creating your character, to feel that you own, you know, the thing that you're holding or the world that you live in, that you belong there.
There's obviously so many themes to the whole saga of Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, but what for you is the most resonant, you know, political or socio-political theme?
I think the theme that is in my head at the moment is Tolkien driving his story towards a warning about addiction to material, particularly through Thorin. I think that he shows in a fantasy epic tale that wealth and greed is a kind of an infection that causes the mind to become irrational. And I think that was probably true at the time he wrote it. It certainly feels true now, and we should probably pay attention.
We absolutely should, especially by seeing the film. Well, what will you remember as being the most challenging moment for you? I mean, of course, there were so many exciting ones.
I think the most challenging moment, and it was the final standoff between Thorin and Azog. I thought I was physically ready, and you know, the first few days I was great, but then it was just so exhausting, and I was doing all sorts of things to try and keep my energy up, and I would throw up between takes and try and, you know, sometimes my legs wouldn't hold me up, but and yeah, as much as that was challenging, when you see it on film, it's exactly as it should look.
It looks very poignant, actually, and we don't want to give anything away, but yes, it's very well done. And finally, have you ever kept any prop from the film, or would you have liked to, and which one would it be?
I was so lucky. I was gifted a sword and the oaken shield, and the map and the key, which to me were very, very personal, because I carried the map with me as a personal prop every day. It was always inside of my costume, and it's got my fingerprints on it. So sometimes if I had dirty hands or bloody hands, you can see little bloody fingerprints on the map. So that to me is a very precious piece of prop.